all the scholars who are assembled here for this meeting organized by Sanskrit Academy. Today we are having an endowment lecture under the Anna Subramanya Iyer Centenary Endowment. Every year we are having a lecture under this endowment on Vedanta or Guru Shishya relationship, like that. This endowment was instituted by respected Sri Atreya and the Shishyas of Sri Anna Subramanya Iyer. And Anna Subramanya Iyer does not require any introduction, at least to our generation or the previous generation. Most of the books pertaining to our Sanatana Dharma have come out of his pen and have been brought out by Ramakrishna Math, Mylapore, which includes translation of many stotras and meanings of the Vedic mantras and so on. He was closely associated with Ramakrishna Math, and he had a lot of followers who were very closely associated with him, and they have instituted an endowment in our Sanskrit Academy, as well as one endowment in Kuppuswamy Sastry Research Institute also. And this year we are having this lecture today, and we have got a very distinguished personality in Dr. R. Mahadevan, who would be talking to us on Vedanta and Tirumandiram. The Tirumandiram and Vedanta. Tirumandiram, as we know, is one of the most celebrated classics in Shaiva Siddhanta literature in Tamil, often much misunderstood because it is not easy to understand the text, and some of the translations which are available have not done justice to the original text also. Dr. Mahadevan was the first batch student from Madras IIT, and subsequently he did MTech as well as PhD. He is connected with so many organizations as well as committees in Government of India. He is there in the syndicate of Anna University. He is in the academic board of Madras University Sanskrit department. He is connected with IIT Madras, where he guides PhD scholars. He is a governing body member of Kuppuswamy Sastry Research Institute. He has taken all the pains to construct a temple to propagate the values and the philosophy given by Tirumular in the place Satanur, which he is managing all by himself. Every year he is organizing a great festival there, where many traditional scholars are also honored. He goes there personally, and many a times he also releases books on this occasion. Dr. Mahadevan, though he is a scientist, he has got a very good knowledge in Sanskrit, English, and Tamil literature and language. He has been translating sections of Tirumandiram in a wonderful way. And today we are happy to announce that one more book from his pen, namely Tirumandirathil Attanga Yogam, means the Ashtanga Yoga as explained by Patanjali, how this has been explained in Tirumandiram, of course with the slight deviations. So this book will be released today by Dr. K. Srinivasan, President of our Sanskrit Academy. And when we requested Dr. Mahadevan to give this lecture, immediately he accepted. Tomorrow also he is giving a lecture on Apaya Dikshita. So he has been much sought after. He has written a lot of books on temples also. And he has been contributing so much, not only in the automobile sector. He is the director in India Pistons for a long, long time. And he continues to serve the organization. And in the literary field also, he has been contributing a lot. And in the Kuppuswamy Sastry Research Institute also, he gave a lecture on Tirumandiram, which we really enjoyed under Dr. Jayashree Endowment some years ago. And it is amazing how Dr. Mahadevan is able to penetrate into so much of philosophical ideas given by Tirumular in a very subtle way. And he does not stand behind many scholars in this field, though he did not choose academic as his profession. So we are thankful to you, sir, for accepting our invitation to talk to us today on Tirumandiram and Vedanta. And after his talk is over, Dr. Srinivasan would be releasing the book formally. And with these few words, I welcome you all today for this endowment lecture. And now I invite Dr. Mahadevan respectfully to deliver his talk on Tirumandiram and Vedanta. Over to Dr. Mahadevan.
Sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
Am I audible, Balu? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. ஐந்து கரத்தனை ஆனை முகத்தனை இந்தின் இளம்பிறை போலும் எயிற்றனை நந்தி மகந்தனை ஞானக் கொழுந்தினை குந்தியில் வைத்தடி போற்றுகின்றேனே. சதாசிவ சமாரம்பாம் சங்கராச்சாரிய மத்தியமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சாரிய பர்யந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம். My namaskars to everyone, and particularly the president of Samskrita Academy, Dr. Balu and others, for accepting to release my latest book on Tirumandirathil Ashtanga Yoga. Before I proceed to give a talk on Vedanta and Tirumandiram, I would like to share a few words about the book that is going to be released. It can be stated without fear of contradiction that Tirumula was the first person to write about Ashtanga Yoga in Tamil based on Patanjali's Yoga Sutras with some modifications that he added based on his practice and experience of the Yoga Darshana. In fact, I think many minor Upanishads that came later than Tirumula's time probably were influenced by what Tirumula wrote in his Tirumandiram. Because Tirumula's time is agreed or accepted by scholars to be in the 4th, 5th century AD. And many Upanishads that came up on yoga, including Hatha Yoga Pradipika and all that, came later. And it is likely that they were influenced by Tirumula's presentation of Ashtanga Yoga. And this thought was what prompted me to write this little book on Ashtanga Yoga as explained by Tirumandiram. Tirumandiram, in my opinion, has not received the importance that it deserves as a yoga treatise, apart from being the foundation for Shaiva Siddhanta that developed later. It also laid the foundation for yoga in Tamil Nadu, is what is worth contemplating on. Let me now get down to the subject of today's talk, which is Vedanta in Tirumandiram or Tirumandirathil Vedanta. I think it is an honor. To be talking under the endowment of Anna Subramaniya, because Anna Subramaniya had done phenomenal service in taking the Upanishads in simple Tamil language to those who want to understand the purport of Upanishads but are not experts in Sanskrit language. So I think it is appropriate that the subject chosen today is on Tirumandiram and Vedanta. And I have freely borrowed from Anna Subramaniya Iyer's books on Upanishads to understand some of the concepts that both Tirumula and Upanishads talk about. If you browse through many of Anna Subramaniya Iyer's Upanishad texts, you will find here and there quotations from Tirumandiram, and he will mention that against in the footnote, Oppidavum, and then he will give a Tirumandira verse. So it is appropriate for me to be talking on this subject under the endowment of Anna Subramaniya. Let me briefly outline the story of Tirumula, though I'm sure that many of you are already familiar with it. A Shiva yogi from Mount Kailas, who had already received Upadesham from Nandiyambiran, was on a trip to the south, supposedly to meet up with his old friend Agastya in Podigai mountains. And on the way, he stopped at a place called Shatanur on the banks of Kaveri and was deeply touched by the grieving cow herd because they had lost their master. The master's name was Moolan, and he belonged to Shatanur village. Touched by this, he entered the body of Moolan using his yogic powers, namely Parakaya Pravesha. And immediately, the caretaker, Moolan, rose up to the delight of the cows. After finishing his day's work, he went back to locate his body and was shocked to find that the body had disappeared. He then thought it was probably ordained by the Lord that he should bring out his Vedic and Agama teachings in Tamil, remaining in Moolan's body. Accepting the divine order, so to say, he went to a nearby temple of Shiva in Tiruvavadurai, sat under a peepal tree, and brought out the book called Tirumandiram. This Tirumandiram is actually the 10th volume out of the 12 Tirumarais. But it stands apart from the rest of the 11 Tirumarais, because the other 11 Tirumarais can be classified as Bhakti literature. But Tirumandiram is actually a Jnana literature and a Yoga literature. Though it does also promote Bhakti towards Shiva as the Lord of the universe, but what is the main purpose of Tirumandiram? If you look at it closely, it's actually Shiva Neri, or more popularly as Siddhanta. So, what I intend to do in the rest of the talk is to highlight some of the Vedic concepts that Tirumandiram has actually taken to expand on. How do you go to the next one? Okay. The purpose behind Tirumula creating his Tirumandiram, he himself explains in one of the verses. என்னை நன்றாக இறைவன் படைத்தனன் தன்னை நன்றாக தமிழ் செய்யுமாறே. He declares that the purpose for which God created him was to propound the message of the Lord. The message of the Lord is actually Vedas and Agamas. He also mentions in another verse, Shilanga Vedathai Sheppavandene, and also Shindai Shaid Agamam Sheppalutrene. During the time of Tirumula, apparently there were two basic philosophies that were popular. One was Vedanta, which was based on the beliefs that came from Vedas and Agamas, and the other went by the name Siddhanta. And people probably thought that there were two different sadhanas for liberation. And Thirumandiram in a verse says, Vedamodu Agamam Meyyam, Iraivan ஓதும் சிறப்பும் ஒன்றுள ஆதலின் நாதன் உரை அவை நாடில் இரண்டந்தம் வேதம் அது என்பர் பெரியோர்க்கு அபேதமே. This actually translates.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Please, you can put it on slideshow, sir.
Slideshow.
F5 press பண்ணுங்க.
F5 press பண்ண சொல்றேன். Slideshow. Slideshow போடுறேன். இதுல இப்ப வந்துட்டா ஸ்லைட் ஷோல வந்துட்டா வரலையா?
ஃபுல் ஸ்கிரீன் வரல சார்.
ஃபுல் ஸ்கிரீன் வரலையா?
ஆமா.
ஃபுல் ஸ்கிரீன்ல படிச்சிருக்கேன்.
ஸ்கிரீன் அந்த திருமந்திரம் பாட்டெல்லாம் வருது.
இப்பதான் வந்திருக்கு சார். But is it still you have not given the slideshow, ma'am?
Slideshow பண்ணலையா? பண்ணுங்க.
So you will get up.
இப்போ வந்திருக்கா?
Not yet, sir. Okay. Otherwise, we'll continue, sir. Sorry.
இப்போ ஸ்லைட் ஷோ
No,
வரல.
sir.
Not yet.
Not yet, sir.
F5 போடுங்க.
இது என்னதுமா? வேதமுடு ஆகமம் மெய்யாம் இறைவன் நூல் ஓதல் சிறப்பும் ஒன்று உள.
வந்துருது சார். ஆனா ஃபுல் ஸ்கிரீன்ல வரல உங்களுக்கு. சைடுல.
One second ma, one second. Let me just. Now F5 போட்டனே.
இன்னும் வரல சார்.
It's not coming as full screen.
Yes, sir.
இருக்கா?
Yes, sir. We have got it. Yes, sir.
Okay. இப்போ இருக்கு, full screen-ஆ இருக்கு.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
சரியா இருக்கு இல்லையா? Okay, okay. I had come to the stage where we were trying to find out what is Tirumala's school of philosophy and how is it related to Vedanta. Let us seek an answer from Thirumandiram itself. Vedamodu Agamam Meyyam, Iraivannool Podum Shirappum Ondrula Adalin, Nathan Urai Avai Nadil Irandandam Vedam Adi Enbar Periyorku Abedame. In Tirumala's time, we gather that there were basically two beliefs. One was Vedanta based on what Upanishads and Agamas say, and the other Siddhanta. The former is the conclusions you find in the Upanishads, and the latter is the conclusions of the Agamas and Bhakti. Some say they are different. That is what Thirumandiram itself says. And probably there was a debate in those days between these two schools of philosophy. He says, Periyorukku abedame. For wise men, they are non-different. In another verse, Siddhantatte Shivan Mutti Siddhittalal, Siddhantatte Nirpore Mutti Siddhittavar, Siddhanta Vedantam Shemburula Adalal, Siddhanta Vedantam Kattum Shivanaye. Jivan Mukti or liberation of the soul is the goal of Siddhanta. Since both Siddhanta and Vedanta, since both, some crosstalk. Since both Siddhanta and Vedanta are, after the inquiry, absolute, both show you the path to Shivan. That's what Tirumandiram says.
Apa selama time in the meeting? Sure.
Let us now see some examples of Tirumandiram, taking after concepts of Vedanta or the Upanishads. The first concept I would like to touch upon is God is one only. He appears as many. This is a fundamental theme in Tirumandiram as well as Vedanta. Let's see what Tirumandiram says. Onravan thane irandavan innarul நின்றனன் மூன்றினுள் நான்கு உணர்ந்தான் ஐந்து வென்றனன் ஆறு விரிந்தனன் ஏழு உம்பற் சென்றனன் தான் உணர்ந்து எட்டே. The very opening verse of Tirumandiram, which is invocatory, starts with the declaration, ஒன்று அவன் தானே, God is one, is the very first opening sentence of Tirumandiram. He goes on to add that he is two if you count Shakti, and three if you reckon Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra, and so on. It goes on up to 8. And that gods were many that people believed in. He said in another Tirumandiram, Padipala avadu pandu ibulaham, vidipala seidu ondrum meemmai unarar. Here Pati actually refers to God. Padipala avadu pandu ibulaham. People have believed in multiple gods from ancient times, he acknowledges, and devised many rituals to please them, not realizing the fundamental truth that he is one, is what Tirumandiram says. And there are many, many parallels in Upanishads that you can find, which reflect the same idea. Ekam sadvipra bahudha vadanti from Rigveda, Eko deva sarvabhuteshu gudhaha from Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Brahmava idagra asid ekameva Brihadaranyakam, Eko hi rudraha nadvitiyayatasthu Shvetashvatara again, Atmava idamekamevagra asid Aitare Upanishad. All of them declare, though they use different names, Sat, Devaha, Brahma, Rudraha, Atma, etc., but all of them refer to the Supreme Being who manifests as many in all the living beings. The Brahman of the Upanishads is Lord Shiva to Tirumula, because the entire Siddhanta of Tirumula is based on treating Brahman as Saguna Brahman or Shivan in his vision. He is all pervasive and pervades all directions and all beings. The Tirumandiram verse states, Tihayanaitum Shivane Yavanahil Mihayanaitum Solla Venda Manidare. Tihai is actually Tishai, directions. All directions are pervaded by Shivan. And what else to say? There is nothing beyond him, is what this Tirumandiram says. Mundakopanishad, Brahmaiva Mamritam Purastat, Brahma Paschat, ब्रह्म दक्षिणतः च उत्तरेण अधश्च ऊर्ध्वं च प्रसृतं ब्रह्मैवेदं विश्वमिदं वरिष्ठम्. Also says Brahman pervades all directions, whether it is the front or the back, the south or the north, the top or the bottom. And the entire universe is pervaded by him. I mentioned earlier that Tirumandiram proclaims the Lord as a Saguna Brahman. போற்றிசைத்து இன்னுயிர் மன்னும் புனிதன் நாற்றிசைக்கும் நல்ல மாதுக்கு நாதன் is how he describes in one verse. He is pure and he is the consort or the spouse of Nalla Madhu, meaning Shakti. Kaivalya Upanishad describes Supreme Being Samadhi Madhyanta Vihinamekam Vibhum Chidanandam Arupam Adbhutam Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum Trilochanam Neelakantham Prashantam. You can observe here that the Supreme Being is described as Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum Trilochanam Neelakantham. What else is needed to describe the Saguna Brahma? Actually, if you go deep into Tirumandira, you find that Tirumula has borrowed descriptions of Ishvara from Shvetashvatara Upanishad, from Kaivalya Upanishad, from Chandogya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and Taittiriya Upanishad, in preference to other Upanishads. Let us now look at what Tirumandiram says about the Jivatma Paramatma Jagat relationship. Jivatma is the individual soul. And according to Tirumula, individual souls are without a beginning. In other words, Anadi. And they are also many. The bondage, which goes by the name Pasham in Siddhanta, is also Anadi, is also beginningless. Tirumula's Siddhanta is founded on the trinity of Pati, Pashu, and Pasham. A famous verse in Tirumandiram declares, Pati, Pashu, Pasham, Yenapahar Mundril, Padiyai Pol, Pashu, Pasham, Anadi. This doesn't need any explanation. Pati is the Lord, Pashu is all living beings or Jivatmas, and Pasham is bondage. And the fundamental belief in Siddhanta is that all three are Anadi. In fact, he makes it even more explicit in another verse. Arivu, Arivu Yandra Arivum Manadi, Arivukku Arivam Patiyum Manadi, Arivai Kattiya Pasham Anadi, Arivu Padigir Pasham Aruthane. Arivu here refers to the sentient being, namely Jivatma. Pati refers to Paramatma, and Pasham refers to the bondage with the world. All these are declared as beginningless. You can see a parallel in Shvetashvatara Upanishad in the verse Yajñau Bhavaja Ishan Ishavaja Eka matrubogyarthayukta. Jnana Ajnau is the conscious subject and the unconscious object, the master and the dependent are both aja, unborn, which is interpreted as jiva and jagat. Both jiva and jagat are beginningless. That jivatmas are many is declared by Thirumandiram in the following verse. Pashupala koti piraman mudalai பசுக்களை கட்டிய பாசம் மூன்றுண்டு. பசுத்தன்மை நீக்கி அப்பாசம் மறுத்தால் பசுக்கள் தலைவனை பற்றி விடாவே. Starting from Brahma, the god of creation, down to the lowest living being, there are several crores of jivatmas, says this verse. And if you are able to vanquish the bondage that binds you to the world, then பசுக்கள் தலைவனை பற்றி விடாவே. The jivatmas will then hold on to the Lord. They would not leave him. The the Shvetashvatara Upanishad has a shlokam, has a mantram that says, Anantaschatma Vishwarupo Hyakarta Trayam Yada Vindate Brahmamedate. Anantascha Atma. Mundaka Upanishad also has a mantram that says, Yatha Sudiptat Pavakat Vispulinga Sahasrashas Prabhavante Sarupa Tadaksharat Vividha Somya Bhavaha Prajayante Tatra Chaivapiyanti. Just as thousands of sparks emanate from a huge fire, akin to the same fire, so also various jivatmas originate from the imperishable one and again merge into it, is what the Mundaka Upanishad says. So, Pati, which is Paramatma, and Pashu, which is Jivatma, are Anadi. And we have seen that Pati is one and Pashus are many, according to Thirumandiram. What about their magnitudes, dimensions? We already saw that Pati is Sarvavyapi and all pervasive. In magnitude, he is immeasurable and beyond imagination. Thirumandiram describes Pati in this verse, Ararivar engal annal perumayai, Ararivar inda agalamum neelamum. You can see a parallel in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Tamishwaranam paramam maheshwaram, tam devatanam paramam cha daivatam, patim patinam paramam parastat, vidama devam bhuvanesha metye. Describing Pati as beyond imagination. What about magnitude or dimension of the Jivatma? Thirumandiram describes it thus. Eviya Shivan vadivad sollidil, Kovin mayirvondru noorudan Purittu, Meviya Kuradu Ayiram Ayinal, Aviyin Kuru Narayira Tondre. It is subatomic in size. This verse describes it as equal in dimension to 1/100,000th of the hair of a cow. And Shvetashvatara Upanishad more or less reflects exactly the same. So there is enough reason to believe that Thirumandiram, written by Tirumala, who was himself, who received his Upadesham in Kailas under Nandiyambiran, must have been an expert in Vedas and Agamas and must have imbibed the message of the Vedas and Agamas before he started writing his Thirumandiram. Balagashtabhagasya Shatadha Kalpitasya cha Bhago Jivaha Savigneyaha Sachanantyaya Kalpate. This also says that the magnitude of Jiva is 1/100th of a 100th of a hair. Actually, suggesting that it is infinitesimally small. How do you imagine Paramatma and Jivatma residing in the same Sharira? If you look at that explanation that Thirumandiram gives, there is a verse that the idea of two birds in a tree that you find in the Upanishads, you find that reflected in a Thirumandiram verse. Annam irandula aatram karayinil துண்ணி இரண்டும் துணை பிரியாது அன்னம் தன்னிலை அன்னம் தனியொன்றது என்றக்கால் பின்ன மட அன்னம் பேரணுகாதே. There are two swans on the bank of a river. The two are united and would not part company. One is engaged in itself in self-contemplation, whereas the other, ignorant one, goes after worldly pleasures. This is exactly the same description that we find in Mundaka Upanishad as well as in Shvetashvatara Upanishad. The very same mantram appears in both Upanishads. Vasuparna sayuja sakhaya samanam vriksham parishasvajate tayoranyaha pippalam swadvatti anashnannanyo abhichakashiti. Two birds, inseparable friends. They sit perched on the same tree. One of them enjoys the sweet fruits in the tree, and the other looks on contented without eating. This is an allegory of Jivatma and Paramatma residing in the same Sharira. The next question that we can look at is, what is the goal of life in this Janma as seen by Thirumandiram? Shivanyana Chivanyanna Verillai Shivanar Shivanare Arihila Shivanar Shivanare Arindapin Shivanar Shivanayit Tirupire. Actually, this is a fairly simple verse compared to other verses in Thirumandiram. Some verses it's very difficult to understand the meaning, but some are extremely simple. This is very clear in declaring that Jivan and Shivan are not different from each other. Jivan, because of its ignorance, does not realize Shivan. But once they do, they become one with him, is the meaning of this verse. It is this verse that often have led to some commentators to say that what Tirumula propagated in Tirumandiram is Shivadvaitam. But a closer study and a comprehensive study, however, shows that it is not necessarily true. Anyway, that's a debate that we will keep for another day. Having declared that the purpose of Jivan is to merge with Shivan, what was Tirumula's own experience in following his Shivaneri towards the end of his Tirumandiram? He shares his experience. And that verse reads like this. Olindhen piravi uravennum pasham, Kalindhen kadavulum nanum ondranen, Alindang inivaru margamum kanden, Shelun charbudaya Shivanai kandene. What a bold declaration. It almost looks like an audacious statement. Kadavulum nanum ondranen. And a similar experiential statement of a realized soul appears in Kaivalya Upanishad. A person who reaches the ecstasy of Shivajnanam is reflected in this mantrams. Anoraniya ahameva tadvat mahanaham vishwamaham vichitram puratanoham purushohamisho hiranmayoham shivarupamasmi hiranmayoham shivarupamasmi vedairanekairahameva vedyaha vedantakrit veda videvachaham na punyapape mama nasti nashaha na janma dehendriya buddhirasti is what Kaivalya Upanishad declares about the ecstasy of a realized soul. So we saw that the goal that is prescribed by Tirumandiram is for the Jivatma to reach and become Shivan. But what is the means by which you can do this? Tirumandiram verse that describes this. உய்யவல்லார்கட்கு உயிர் சிவஞானமே உய்யவல்லார்கட்கு உயிர் சிவன் தெய்வமே உய்யவல்லார்கட்கு ஒடுக்கம் பிரணவம் உய்யவல்லார் அறிவுள் அறிவாமே. Jnana or self-knowledge is the only way for Jivatmas to attain moksha. Uyyavallar translates as a person who has set for himself the goal of moksha. In other words, mumukshu can be translated as Uyyavallar. Uyyavallarhattu uyir Shivajnaname. He declares that knowledge or self-knowledge, Shiva knowledge, is the means for attaining moksha. And it can be done with the help of pranava. He says, it can be obtained through pursuit of knowledge with the help of Omkara and Shiva's grace. Arivul Arivu represents Shiva. The Shankara, of course, says Jnana Devat Kaivalyam is a very oft quoted saying. The understanding of Jivatma's identity with Paramatma is actually famously explained in crisp and brief language through the Mahavakyams in the Upanishads. And Chandogya Upanishads Tattvamasi Mahavakyam is a very famous and popular Mahavakyam that's used for explaining the Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam or Jivatma Paramatma identity. Tirumandiram devotes an entire chapter for explaining the meaning of the Mahavakyam Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi, as many of you would be knowing, is a message that is given by Uddalaka to his son Shvetaketu, who went away for study of the Vedas in a Gurukulam for 12 years and came back with the pride of having mastered everything. And when his father asked him, have you studied that knowledge or have you obtained that knowledge by which everything becomes known? And when he said, perhaps my teachers did not know that because they did not teach me. And then the father Uddalaka gives this message, Tattvamasi, and explains it by various practical illustrations. A verse that describes this or explains this in Tirumandiram reads like this. Vedanta Tombada Mebum Pashuyenba Nadanta Pasham Vidanendra Narpadi Bodanta Tarpadam Poi Irandaikyam Sadharanam Shiva Sayujyamame. This explains that the Tvam Padam, Tvam in Sanskrit actually is the Tom in Tamil. Tvam Padam in Tattvamasi refers to Pashu in Siddhanta parlance, and in turn represents Jivatma. And the Tat Padam stands for Pati or Shiva, who is completely free from Pasham. It is natural that if Pasham or bondage is vanquished by Jivatma, it becomes one with Shiva through liberation. And this process is indicated by the term Ashi. Vandattashiye Tondattasiyam Avaimanna Vandu Vayattehemana Tavamuru Tattvamashi Vedanta Shivamadam Chittanta Vedantame. In Siddhanta, sometimes the Tattvamasi Mahavakyam is taught as Tondattashi. Tondattashi is Tvam Tat Asi. Whereas the Mahavakyam actually says Tat Tvam Asi. This is an interesting change in Siddhanta because they start with the Upadesha that you must first realize Tvam, Jivatma, its nature. Try to get rid of the bondages and get yourself emancipated to a level where you can start studying Tat or trying to understand Tat. So they sometimes put in their Upadesha, instead of Tat Tvamasi, change the order and make it Tvam Tat Asi. And that is Tvandattasi. He's saying Tvandattasi and Tatvamasi in terms of the message that they give is the same. This is the Upadesham that Uddalaka gives his son Shvetaketu after illustrating by various examples. Saya Yeshoni Maitadatyam Idam Sarvam Tatsatyam Sa Atma Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. And the response to that from the Shishya would be that I have become that. Aham Brahmasmi is the answer given by the student to the teacher who explains to him Tattvamasi. And that message is given in this Tirumandiram. Niyaduvana Yananindra Perurai Ayadu Nananeen Yenna Chamaindara Sheya Shivamakum Shirnandi Perarul Ayaduvai Ananta Anantiyahume. Ayadu Nananeen is the answer given to Niyaduvanai. Niyaduvanai is Perurai. Perurai is Mahavakyam. The Mahavakyam explained by the teacher to the student is Niyaduvanai. And after understanding the message and internalizing it, the student says, Ayadu Nanane. That is equivalent to Aham Brahmasmi. Tirumandiram gives a very slightly interesting twist to the meaning of Tattvamasi, where he says, Tatpadam Yendrum, Twampadam Tan Yendrum, Nirpadu Asiyat Nerirayalpadam. Tat actually refers to Pati and Tvam refers to Pashu. Yes, but Asi can be in his imagination Nerirayalpadam. That may actually mean the Shakti or Uma. This more or less reminds you of Uma Devi coming and giving the Brahmopadesham to Indra in Kenopanishad. Some of the illustrations given by Uddalaka to Shvetaketu in Chandogya Upanishad, they are also handled by Tirumandiram. Actually, once I was listening to Pujyasri Dayananda Swamiji and he said that no Vedanta lecture is complete without mentioning the pot and the clay. So this is one of the illustrations that is used in Chandogya Upanishad. And Tirumandiram says, Kushavan Tirihayil Yetriya Mannai, Kushavan Manattutra Dellam Vanaivan, Kushavanai Polengal Ponnandi Vendil, Ashevil Ulagam Adu Idu Ame. So this actually means that the pot that comes out of the clay, and there can be many, many different shapes and sizes of products that come out of the same clay. The clay is the truth, and all others are names and forms. There is another Tirumandiram which also mentions it. Manmondrudan pala narkalan naidam ulhindra yonihatkellam orvane. And in Chandogya, Yathasavamya ekena mritpindena sarvam mridmayam syat vacharambhanam vikaram namadheyam nrittikeyat yeva satyam. Another famous example often used is gold and ornaments. Gold is the same and that is the truth. ornaments of various kinds and shapes and styles are only names and forms. பொன்னை மறைத்தது பொன்னணி பூடணம், பொன்னில் மறைந்தது பொன்னணி பூடணம். தன்னை மறைத்தது தன் கரணங்களாம், தன்னில் மறைந்தது தன் கரணங்களே. Karanangal here actually means the indriyas. The indriyas that actually have interface with the world. Thannai maraithathu. It covers up the real you. But once you understand that they are all names and forms, then they actually disappear in the true you or true I. Just like all the ornaments that you find, they ultimately disappear when you see the fundamental truths, namely gold. And Chandogya Upanishad says this, Yatha saumya ekena lohamanina sarvam lohamayam vijñātam syāt vācārambhanam vikaram namadheyam lohamityeva satyam. The next example that Thirumandiram handles, which is also, which also comes up in Chandogya Upanishad, is salt and water. Uddalaka asks his son to bring some salt and put it in water. And come the next morning, he asks him, can you take the salt? And he says, no, it has disappeared in water. Then he asks him to taste the water from the top, from the middle, and the bottom. And he says, that salt which you cannot see is still there. Just like once you realize the ultimate, then the Jivatma completely disappears in the Paramatma. Appinil uppena vandanan anindittu செப்பு பராபரமே சேர்ப்பரமும் விட்டு அப்புறு தொம்பதமாக கலந்தமை எப்படி எப்படி என்னும் அவ்வாறு. தொம்பதமாக கலந்தமை. Tvam is Jivatma actually then disappears because you lose yourself in the super consciousness or the Paramatma. लवणमेत तुदके अवधायाथ मा प्रातरुपासीथा इति सह तथा चकार तम्होवाच यद्दोषा लवणम् उदके बाधा अंग तदा हरेति तद्धावमृश्य न विभेद. This is what Chandogya Upanishad says. It goes on actually. The story goes on as to how Uddalaka brought home to his disciple the Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam. There is another story or one other illustration that is used by Uddalaka, and that is he asks Shvetaketu to bring fruit from the banyan tree, probably the tree under which he was giving the Upadeshan maybe, and he brings the fruit and he says, break it, and the disciple breaks it. He says, what do you see? I see a lot of very small, tiny seeds. You take out a seed and break it. And he said, yes, done. He said, what do you see? He said, nothing. Out of the nothing that you see in that seed grows this entire huge tree with its branches, leaves, and fruits. And that illustration is used to explain that the subtle force resides in all beings is actually Paramatma. படர்கொண்ட ஆலதின் வித்தது போல சுடர்கொண்ட அணுவினை தூவழி செய்ய விடர்கொண்ட பாச விருளர ஓட்டி சுடர்கொண்ட நல்வழி நாடலுமாமே. This is about the Nyagrotha Phalam. Nyagrotha Phalamata ahara itidam bhagavaiti bhindhiti भिन्नं भगवैति किमत्र पश्यसीति अणव्य इवेमा धाना भगवैति आसाम् अङ्गैकां भिन्धीति भिन्नं भगवैति किमत्र पश्यसीति न किञ्चन भगवैति. It goes on. This actually I have only taken the first part. So I have tried to show a glimpse of what concepts from Upanishads are handled by Thirumandiram and in what fashion. I would like to conclude by saying that the Siddhanta that Thirumandiram teaches is based on what the Upanishads say and handled in his own way and explaining a path towards liberation by understanding that the Jivatma must, the Jivatma's object in life or objective in life is to go towards Shiva. He ends as if giving a Palashruti of following his Shivanari. Mannit Shivamaha Vara Pirappe. If you follow the guidelines given by Tirumoolar Thirumandiram, you will transcend the cycle of birth and death. So with that, I would like to conclude and thank Sanskrit Academy for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on Thirumandiram and Vedanta. Thank you.
Dr. Srinivasan.
Hello, G. Hello.
Srinivasan.
கேக்குறதா?
கேக்குறது bro.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your nice lecture on Tirumandirathil Vedantam. When I have been attending Vedanta classes, with my teacher, he used to say this particular verse. Marathil maraindadu parmudar budam. That is, Marathai maraithadu Mamadayane, Marathil maraindadu Mamadayane. You have got exact Sanskrit translation also. That is, Dantini daru vikare daru tiro bhavati sopi tatraiva. That is, Marathai maraithadu Mamadayane, Marathil maraindadu Mamadayane. So this Marathil maraindadu is taken as sopi tatraiva. But at the time, it did not occur to me to ask him where this verse occurs. Maybe somebody might have translated Thirumandiram or some verses. Okay. Thirumandiram also, you might have seen towards the end of Adu Ennum Perurai. The word Perurai is used by Thirumandiram to refer to Mahavakya. Not only that, even in Tirumurga Tripadai is quoted by Nachinarkiniyar in the light of Mahavakya. So Mahavakya is very much known in the early years of Tamil Nadu. That's very important. Professor Balasubramaniam, he has asked me to release the book Tirumandirathil Ashtanga Yogam, authored by Dr. Mahadevan. There, in that, Balasubramaniam, in his introduction, he has stated that Hatha Yoga, Laya Yoga, Raja Yoga, Mantra Yoga, there are so many yogas. That Hatha Yoga books, especially many of the Hatha Yoga Pratipika and other books are post 9th, 10th century. Whereas in Thirumandiram, we have got lots of Hatha Yoga ideas and other yoga ideas, that is Ashtanga Yoga ideas, are very much there. And not only that, say in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, Patanjali gives only 5 yamas. That is Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha. Whereas Manu speaks of 10 yamas and Dashakam Dharma Lakshanam. He says like that. Some of the other Dharma Shastras speak of 10 yamas. Yama are considered to be, yama and niyamas are don'ts and do's, but they are considered to be essential dharma. Devapi tam namasyanti yasya dharme sada yama, sada manaha. He who follows yama steadfastly, he is being saluted by devas. It is stated like that. So yama becomes, say for example, Patanjali himself says Sarvabhauma Mahavratam. In Kadambari, when Bana is describing Jabali's asrama, he says Kuranga Sabaka Simistanam. Tatsannidam Vairatyagaha is the Patanjali Sutra, which what is called the explains that Kuranga Sabaka Simistanam concept. Like this, these concepts, these sutras, the ideas presented by sutras are there in the society, in the midst of all Shastrakaras, in the midst of all knowledgeable people or intellectual people, and they seem to be pervaded in the society. Not just it is intellectual ideas presented. In fact, the story behind Tirumandram also may point out this particular idea. That is, as he said in the beginning about the what is called the Tirumular, when he has entered into the body of the Molan, the cowherd, what happened? His body was lost, and then he has to remain in the body of cowherd. But what happened? Afterwards, he said he cannot go back to his house. He has to remain as a Tirumula Nayanar. And when he wrote Tirumandram, which is consisting of 3000 verses, the traditional story is he wrote one verse per year like that. That is, he lived for 3000 years and wrote that Tirumandram. This is how a traditional account is given. That account may be to present one idea. That is, Tirumandram is not simply an intellectual idea. What he has read his teacher, what he has done, learned from the, what is called from different textbooks and presented that knowledge. What he has experienced, what he has gained by his penance, that he has presented. So in this way, this particular idea becomes very important, that the 3000 year story, not only that he is speaking of Perurai, other philosophies don't speak of Mahavakya. Say for example, if you go to Visishtadvaita and other systems, Saramasloka becomes very important. The concept of Sharanagati, that becomes very important. So each philosophy has got certain basic ideas. Advaita speaks of Mahavakya, and this Mahavakya is spoken of by Tirumandram also. But I don't say Tirumandram or Tirumular or Advaitins. I don't want to venture into without going into that particular knowledge. But this becomes very important information. Say for example, to trace the history of our philosophy, the history of our systems of philosophy, development of knowledge of philosophy, etc. The books are to be studied well. The books are to be studied thoroughly. The information contained there are to be brought out. And Sri Mahadevan is doing a very good service. He is bringing out small booklets based on Tirumandram, small ideas. He has brought out already many books, Tirumandram Nuru, Tirumandram Munnuru, etc. And this year he has come out with Tirumandratil Ashtanga Yogam. And now this particular, the Satanur also is an important belt, because Satanur being a mantra tantra siddha belt. Actually on Kaveri's both banks you have got Bhaskar Rajapuram nearby, and next to Bhaskar Rajapuram is Tirkodikaval, and from where the other side you have got Tirudai, here Satanur. The entire thing is the tantra and other belt, such being the important thing, because that is the area where Bhaskar Raya has written his Saubhagya Bhaskara, Lalita Sahasranama commentary and all those things. Thank you, sir. You have done a very nice work, and I am very happy to release the book Ashtanga Tirumandratil Ashtanga Yogam. And in the verse, that is, in fact, in a beautiful verse, in 552nd verse, Tirumandram is 3000 verses. In 552nd verse, he says, Yama Niyamame Yennila Vadanam Nayamuru Pranayamam Pratyaharam Sayamihu Dharanai Dhyanam Samadhi Ayamurum Ashtangam Avadumame. So all the 8 angas are referred to here in the 552nd verse, and not only that, he adds certain adjectives. Yamam Niyamam he has basically given. For Asanam, Yennila, countless, and Pranayama is Nayamuru Pranayama, and Dharani is Sayamihu, and Samadhi becomes Angi, it is not Anga. In this way, the important is given, and Yamam, Niyamam, etc. He has quoted profusely from Sanskrit text, and I would like to do this. Vedathil vitta aramillai, Vedathil vodathahum aramelam ulla. As they say, Yenna bharate, tanna bharate, Yadihasti tadanyatra. Whatever is there in the Veda, that is available in Tirumandram. The Tirumular himself says, and he says, it is a very beautiful book, giving you a very thorough idea about all the Vedas and everything. So this is the work Tirumandarathil Ashtanga Yogam, and I'm happy to announce this, and I request Mr. K.S. Balasubramanian to take this, and he will be there receiving the first copy, and technically that is online reception and online release. And I thank Mr. R. Mahadevan, the speaker, for bringing out a beautiful and nice idea, and I thank all the people who have enrolled themselves for this one. I thank also Sri R.B. Atreya, the disciple of Anna Subramaniya, and other people who have enrolled for this meeting. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Balasubramanian, would you like to say anything?
Hello.
Ah,
Yeah. So you have already thanked Dr. Mahadevan. Again, at the cost of repetition, I thank him. And this book has been written in such a chaste Tamil, as well as easy to understand by all the people, with relevant quotation from Sanskrit text, from Darsanopanishad, from Yoga Yajnavalkya and other texts, and also Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. So that shows how much of depth Dr. Mahadevan has gone into. We are really thankful to him for bringing out the salient features of Tirumandiram one by one. Hopefully, we will see the complete translation of Tirumandiram in him shortly. I thank all of you for participating in today's meeting. Thank you very much.
Even though it may be repetition, I would like to say one thing. That is, many of the ideas which are present in Sanskrit literature have no reflection. They seem to have emanated from Tamil literature also, even earlier, few centuries earlier. So it becomes, the history of Indian philosophy becomes very important. Almost all the vernacular works we have to study, and only in that way we'll be able to trace the history. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The books are available with me. Just in case anybody is interested, you can write to me. I will send the book to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Yamuna can close the meeting.